What is going on, everyone? What was that?
I was like, that was awkward. Just
Mid-sentence. I gotta go.
conversation. Come on.
Apparently, I was done with that conversation. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Nerd Informer podcast, where I cut Tyler off in mid-sentence.
I feel like we're really getting somewhere. But
We were. Listen, this is why we can't do this professionally, because this is what happens.
yeah.
Welcome. It's Wednesday. It's 7:00. It's our time to shine, or whatever we do.
Create people misery.
You can isolate people.
Yeah.
You know, the usual. All right. Welcome. Thanks for coming and checking us out. It's Wednesday. It's 7:00. We're here live, Oracle Talk Radio Network. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us. So, or the app. Check out the app. The app's cool. What are you doing today? I think we're talking pyramids.
Really, anything like that. Anything with pyramids or fucking Egyptian time is one of the coolest. In my opinion, it's my favorite part of history.
You know what the biggest pyramid is?
Is it? Are you going to say it's not one in Egypt?
That's correct.
The biggest one is in God, man. Well, the thing is they keep popping up now.
Well, it's kind of a trick question. Technically, the biggest one is Cholula in Mexico.
Yeah, but not anymore.
But they found one in
was it China? Oh, no, where was it?
It was in Bosnia.
Yeah,
one of those B countries.
Well, that's horrible. I mean,
well, they don't know technically because they haven't dug it out yet. It hasn't been dug out yet, but they think basically because of the size of it, it's
they did LiDAR.
Yeah.
So that thing is massive, dude. It's
know what my question is like, and they've probably done this, but I've never seen it anywhere where they've dug down to see how deep the pyramid goes. You know what I mean? Like we uncovered them for the most part, but I wonder if we ever gotten to the bottom to where, like, is it 30 feet below?
Regular pyramids in Egypt or just in general?
Just in general. Just the ones in Egypt. Like the Great Pyramid. Like, what they just take a shovel and just start digging down the side of it until they hit nothing and see.
I think they dug maybe where the base of it starts with like the actual concrete or like whatever they used to make them. Not concrete, but I think that's where it ends, but it goes down deeper as in levels of room.
Because most of them we had to uncover, right? Like they weren't just hanging out. We had to uncover them.
Yeah, I would say it goes down deeper just in levels, not isn't.
Yeah, it's Bosnia. Yeah,
Bosnia. Okay.
And they think because of some sort of carbon dating that they can do that it's the oldest one at 35,000 years old, which is retarded, and it has the largest known tunnel system of any pyramid that we've found so far.
I want to know so. Did they use LiDAR to see that, or did they haven't started excavating to see?
I don't think they started excavating it yet to see, but they think based on the top of what they can see is the base. It's going to be the largest one.
Imagine what kind of history they're going to uncover right there, and what if it's the same kind of history from Egypt? Isn't that be weird?
Yeah, but you know what? If you ever noticed, the pyramids in Egypt are different than all the other pyramids in the world.
Yeah.
All the other ones in like Mexico and stuff, they're all the stepped pyramids.
Yeah.
And the ones in Egypt are all just the regular pyramid, typical pyramid design.
So at one point, someone just said, "Hey, I found a better way to design it." And I like Egypt's pyramids better. I like how they're shaped. I like how they look. Not saying that the other ones aren't.
Well,
they're not eye appeasing because I guess they're not fully uncovered where we can't see the full. You know what I mean? In Egypt, they really you can see every part in every detail. The other ones are all covered in grass and foliage.
Well, that's what it is. They they excavate them all down to, all of them are that well. Egypt probably not because of the sands and stuff, but
yeah.
But the ones in Egypt are interesting because they're believed that they're part of a power plant system, basically.
Well,
the Giza is thought to be a sort of a supercomputer, and they think that it was used as a sort of a supercomputer and large power station.
Craziest part is that we can't find it anywhere in like history of like they can go off on a limb saying like this, but also they did find like pots that had like that were batteries that they made out of batteries. You know what I'm talking about? They had the same elements inside of like a regular battery to charge things. So that's kind of weird that they would do that. It would be kind of cool to see it being like a supercomputer. And
because of the fact that the Nile River used to run right alongside of them, and they think that they ran it underneath as kind of like a hydro type system for power,
conducting power on the current.
For current, yeah. But now, over the years, the Nile River has moved so far away. It's moved miles and miles away. But they think that in the day, they used the power of the Nile to generate the power that's
you would think on the river it would move closer because of erosion and the path and how fast water moves, that it would chip away closer to the pyramids and further away.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it all depends on the angles and all kinds of stuff, but for whatever reason it moved. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they diverted it away. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe they said, okay, we're going to hide this technology or whatever.
The fact is they got those pyramids to be like aligned perfectly with the sky.
Yes.
I mean, that far back in history, how do you even do that?
Like, and that's just it. Like, was it
their thinking capacity to think about that to what they were doing while they were building it? It's pretty. It's crazy.
And the one in Bosnia is actually even more aligned with like true north.
Yeah.
They break it down into like hundreds of inches or whatever, however they measure them, but it's
like
super close. Yeah.
I don't want to look. I wonder if there's a documentary out on.
Tom said better property value.
Yeah.
I want waterfront, bro.
It's just weird. Like, you would think there would be like, if they were going to power it by water.
Well, and another interesting thing about the pyramids, all of them, is that they show all kinds of carvings and paintings and all these different designs and stuff of UFOs and giants and all these other, airplanes supposedly, but there's no writing that they have found that indicates how they built the pyramids. No one has found anything that says how they built the pyramids.
It's just weird. Yeah. That's the weirdest part, is there was no script or anything left to say how they even made it. That's right. That's the one thing that's the weirdest thing to me. I mean, probably a lot of people, like, they wrote so many things down for people to understand, but they didn't write down the simplest basic form on how they built those.
Well, that's that's kind of
there, or you know what I mean. I wouldn't say they're placed there, but some people.
Joe, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by, man. How you doing?
What's going on?
So the size of the Great Pyramids, you can calculate the distance of the sun to the earth, time measured in 365 days in a year, time measured, or the distance from the earth to the moon, the speed of the earth around the sun, the speed of the earth on its axis, the speed of the sun around the Milky Way galaxy. I mean, it's insane what they can calculate by just the measurements that they use.
I just want to know how they figured it out. And, you know what I mean? At that time in history, they figured that out. And we still can't figure out things that they did. We're so advanced now.
Well, are we? Maybe they were more advanced than we were.
Yeah. It's just weird that they died out.
It's thought by some people that they basically would have had to have a blueprint because of the way and foreknowledge of how to do it, because the stones were cut and put into place precisely like it had been done many times before. You know what I mean? Almost like it was common knowledge of how to do it.
And if it was off by inches and you kept going up off by inches, you'd be off.
Yeah.
Make it correct.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it begs to question who built them, how they built them, why they built them. In the 1800s, they started unearthing these skeletons of what they believe are giants.
Yeah.
Right. So, and even in the Bible, they talk about them. It's called the Nephilim race of giants. It's referred to in the Bible, and they find all kinds of things from them. Yeah. They find, shoes that or sandals that would be like size 29 in the US.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's a big shoe, bro.
Massive.
I mean, that's a big sock. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm 27. I'm just joking.
Oh, man.
But yes.
I'm just kidding. No, but really.
But I mean, so did they find these things, but they didn't find the people? They just found.
No, they found skeletons. They said they find skeletons.
I've seen that they found giants, but I haven't seen that big.
So part of how they link them to the pyramids is that if you go with the power station type idea, is that they had these giant obelisks, which they haven't found any in a pyramid, like, that would be operational, but these things were just ginormous, dude. Like, some of them weighed like 2 million pounds, like, and they were all one giant piece of stone.
Yeah.
And there's carvings and cave paintings and stuff like that of people that were putting these things into place.
Okay. Yeah.
But they were, obviously giants. You know what I mean? They would have had to been giants.
Had to have been, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. And by some estimates, they weigh like 2 million pounds.
It's ridiculous. What's Tom saying?
You definitely believe they died on. I want to know how they did it. So now you have to wonder. Okay, is it aliens? Is it
A lot of people believe it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's more towards that. I think.
So the one that they found in Bosnia, which is believed to be 35,000 years old, that predates anything that we that basically goes all the way back to cavemen and hunter-gatherers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I mean, there just had to have been a huge reset button at that point.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what. I mean? And throughout history, they believe that there's been several of those, and there's a lot of ancient texts that talk about. Go back to anybody.
Getting some comments.
What the hell? Oh, I missed it. Yeah, the Nephilim. I never even heard of these giants until I was doing some research about this stuff. The Nephilim.
Oh, it goes back.
But like to be in the Bible and everything, like there has to be something to it. And the pictures and stuff and the cave paintings and stuff that these people find.
And in the pyramids itself, there's like, well, how would they even think of that? Like, as in like an astronaut? It looks like an astronaut, or so like a traveler.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with like the UFOs and pictures and stuff. Like some of them, they very clearly look like a flying disc, or
Is that how we're perceiving it? Because that's what we want to see, because we see a shape.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. You know what I mean? Like, does your bias lead you to see what you want to see in a sort? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And well, that's like when we see pictures on Mars, like, oh, there's a face in Mars. No, it's because we're so familiar seeing faces. That's what you see.
Yeah.
It's not because it's just the shadowing. It's the look of it.
It would be, your interpretation.
The only cement or like it has towards that is that they drew it. They're probably pretty accurate at drawing if they're having someone do artwork. Like, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, you think they would have to be, but I don't know. I've done some artwork, and I promise you couldn't tell what the fuck it was.
I mean, one day we're gonna have a paint off, because I love painting.
I think it's called bias confirmation. Yeah. I think that's what. Yeah, it's like
it sounds like it would be that. That's what
it's the same thing. When, like, if you're super political or you have like a certain idea about climate change or whatever, and you want to prove everybody wrong, so you just find everything that confirms your ideas and your thoughts, and you use that as, oh, look, see, I'm not the only one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people that are attracted to seeing something that they think's familiar to them. So,
Paradilla? Oh, you gotta use words that I can't say. Delia?
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia. Wait, now I gotta look that up. Great. Hey, give me more work.
I think I nailed it, maybe, but that was close. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. But I mean, without Smarther, we're just with the common, like, I mean, let's see what he says. I have one of the Mexican for last weekend.
Was that a quesadilla or a paradilla? I had one of those at the Mexican.
Sorry, dude. Just reading it for a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Is there a Mexican fair? I want to go to the Mexican fair. That sounds great.
To be honest, it sounds like a great time.
How do we not have a Mexican fair around here, bro?
Well, first off, you'd say all their food's dry and has no flavor.
No, only the stupid tacos you eat.
No. Well, first off, no.
Yes, they're terrible.
They're not.
It tastes like they took a paper towel, put meat in it, and folded it up.
I have a really wide palette of food that I like. I like a lot of things.
It's got to have like sour cream on it.
Or like a meat and potatoes kind of person. And that's
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, Ian, you got to try this kale lettuce with this, vinegar and sugar. Like,
I'm already not eating it. There's no fucking way I'm eating kale lettuce. And
sorry, it's delicious.
I'm already not eating it. I don't care.
You mix some grapes into it. Yeah. It's
grapes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Grapes, some almonds. I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm sorry. It's enjoyable.
I used to work with a gay guy that would eat like that. I'm not throwing any stones. I'm just saying I used to work with a gay guy who ate like that. And he always wanted me to eat stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Eating potatoes guy had a heart attack, so that's all I remember.
Well, I mean, it was worth it though. I didn't die eating kale.
Oh man, most Mexican food. Yeah, who doesn't love carne asada? First off, Ian's the only one that doesn't.
It's just don't get it.
I mean,
so first of all, everything that you eat is like the best thing in the world. So it's the best thing in the world. You got to try it. That follows every single bite Tyler takes, bro.
It doesn't matter. You have to enjoy every part. I enjoy everything. It doesn't matter if it's food. I always say it's the best thing ever. Look, man, that kind of sucked. Well, now I'm just being negative.
Outside of Denver? All right.
It was actually outside of Denver, not in Texas. No way.
You know what Texas has that's really good is like Mexican breakfasts. Like
I could see that, dude.
Yeah, like just the Mexican burrito or the breakfast burritos and breakfast tacos and stuff.
Dude, like chorizo and scrambled eggs.
Yeah, that'll change your life.
Yeah,
for sure. My daughter's in San Antonio. Whenever I go to San Antonio,
it has to be Chicago.
Chicago for Mexico.
Chicago has really good Spanish food. Oh yeah, dude. Yes, I'm serious. I mean, if I need to get a call in from Pete, he'll back me up on that.
Great.
We'll hear quite a bit on it, but I'm telling you, it's Chicago, and probably DC probably is really good.
I don't equate Mexican food with Chicago for some reason.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
DC, I
dude,
just because of the food trucks. You go to DC, man, and it's nothing but food trucks everywhere.
Every single, I mean, as far as the eye can see,
they'll make you a ribeye and a loaded baked potato off the back of a food truck, bro, in like 3 minutes.
And we're talking about like 5-star food. Dude.
Yeah, it's like real deal fucking food, bro.
It's like one spot that I would consider moving is DC. I would,
and the donut place there, Astro Donuts.
Donuts, yeah. God. Their creme brulee donut you showed me when we went.
It changed your life, bro. I told you it's going to change your life.
And there will always be a letdown because I don't have that.
Yeah, no donut will ever compare to that donut.
I wouldn't be able to live there because I'd eat it every day.
And you can watch the show of the homeless people hanging out front screaming at each other.
That was a little hard.
That was tough.
When I did see the homeless person making out with the sidewalk, I was a little worried at where I was. And you already know what I'm talking about. Outside of the church, we were just sitting there enjoying the breakfast, and I just go, "Who's chanting right now?" I just went like this. I'm like, oh my God.
I always see those people and I'm like, I wonder if they're like talking to Jesus or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always worried they have a better seat. They're closer to Jesus than I do.
I'm guessing
I'm like,
ayahuasca. Tom knows.
Oh man.
But it's just
breakfast and a show. You're absolutely right.
That's exactly what it is, dude. And it's like, the thing is, like, I feel so bad for them. At the same time, it's like maybe they're just working something out.
Man,
I'm sorry, like,
you're just working it out, bro. It's cool.
I'm not gonna judge. I'm not one of those. Just stay away from me.
I mean, it's one of the most entertaining things that we did while we were there was have breakfast at the donut place.
That was almost topped the one that we passed. Actually went there a couple times, but the one that we passed, the lady that was screaming out loud, and then I'm like, oh wait, she's crazy. And then I got the guy was there, and then they were both screaming out loud.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, they're on another level right now.
Yes.
So like, what do we do? Because we have to walk past them.
We have to walk right by them, bro. I don't know how this is gonna end.
Well, it's like a look like, dude, they're looking at me like I'm like food.
Yeah.
You know the look.
Well, the problem is you never know what these people are thinking. Like, honestly, like you look at him, you're like, I don't know if this guy's just cool or if he's gonna like spaz out and have like a flashback or something while I'm walking by and
exactly
attack me.
A flashback of a beating or a flashback of doing drugs. I don't know. Both.
It's ayahuasca, bro. I don't know if there's a side effect of ayahuasca, but we should find out.
I gotta say, I think what me and you were talking about today, I think we have to plan to do I want to do a podcast in DC, even if we're sitting in the Capitol. If we did like a nice hour podcast,
just do a live show there, and then we can just show everybody what we're talking about.
Oh, we just have to walk around about 8 in the morning.
That's the problem. They start early too. You think these people would sleep in? Nah, bro. They're up at fucking 7 o'clock, screaming, yelling, just having a good time.
And the thing is, you want to help them, but then you might offend them by helping them. Not enough.
Well, that's just it. That's just it, man. You never know.
And I didn't really know what a tent city was until I went to Grand Central Station. And I'm I almost thought the last time I went there to DC, I thought I had to fight someone. I'm like, well, this is it. I'm like, it's me, it's me or him. Because he was losing it, dude. This guy was losing it. And like I was walking in like to Grand Central. And so I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm like, I have to like play a board game with like the people. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go this way.
You're just dodging people.
But the thing is, like, they set up so much outside of it. You're like,
I know
you have nowhere to go.
You have to walk through. Yes, you have to walk through them,
and you want to help, but you can't because it's like pigeons. You feed one, you feed all. Not lying, and you know this. Like, I'm not looking at them as animals. I feel
like we have alienated everybody, I think, at this point, so we can.
You trapped me into this.
I'm
a good person, first of all. I might be really awkward at moments or I can't talk, but
I swear I'm a good person.
But dude, you know what I'm talking about when you go there.
I know
that. Anyone's gone to DC, they understand.
Oh, for sure.
And the flock of homeless. No, I mean, we're talking about a herd, not a flock. We're like, and you can't help just one because then like that person the next to him are like, hey, you just helped him. I want help. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, you're in trouble. Like, I mean, you're right. You can't because then you really feel bad,
But now it makes me want to go on another adventure to do the same thing to see if it's just as awkward.
Oh, it's gonna be just as awkward.
It's bad. Like
nothing good's gonna come out of it.
No, and I mean, I think next month would probably be the month to go.
I've never been there in the snow, so that'd be cool to see.
Well, we also got like we have Trump coming into office. There's gonna be fucking riots.
There'll be all kinds of shit going on, I'm sure. So I don't know if you want to be around for that nonsense.
Well, kind of. I'd bring my camera. I mean, do a lot of videotaping.
I kind of do want to be around for the nonsense, but at the same time, I want
to see how bad it gets. Because of like we were there when they were doing the riot in the streets.
I don't know, dude. You know what? They did have that big protest when we were there, didn't they?
There was a lot of people.
That was fucking wild.
But this was for like a different country that we weren't feeding them. I think it was. Like, remember, it was like
like Eritrea or something. It's one of these weird countries that no one's ever heard of, and it was a whole thing that there were hundreds of people there rotating. Yeah,
and like you couldn't.
I'm like, most of these people don't even know what they were there for. Like, I just know it. I know most of these people they just saw a crowd and they're like, all right, I'll go. Like,
I think that's what it is. They just want to be a part of something, so they're not alone.
Yes.
Like
they just see a crowd of people and they're afraid. It's like FOMO, you know what I mean? They're afraid of missing something cool. They have no idea what's going on there, but they're there, and yeah, it's
it's an experience. The thing is, I think everyone's got to experience DC for like a good weekend, just see what actually goes on there, because it's crazy, but it's also, I mean, it depends where you go, but it's more relaxed.
As long as you stay in like the National Mall area.
But they were like right outside the Capitol at that one. And like they shut down streets and fucking.
They were by the Indian Museum, I think, like the Native American Museum or something, weren't they?
It was
Black History Museum or something.
Right down the Capitol, going next to the Smithsonian, because that's where it all like took place, and it's cool. I mean, I
don't know if they're gonna be.
You just see me. I have a sign.
My sign says, "I don't know why I'm here. I just saw a crowd."
Mine just says I'm a part of something.
But, somebody let me in.
It was about like us not.
It was
we weren't supporting something, but
yeah.
I'm like, man, this.
My sign's gonna just say I wanted to be a part of something.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I don't feel awkward. I've had a lot of awkward moments, but that would not be one of them.
Oh god, that would be great.
It would. I mean, I do want to go back. I think next month would be the month to go back.
I was in San Diego a couple years ago, and I was staying.
Yes. I agree.
Get a buffalo hat and paint my face. I'm down. I mean, I don't know these people. I don't care what they think.
Yeah,
I'm down with that. I was in San Diego and I was staying at the Hard Rock, and the room I was on, like, I don't know, the 7th or 8th floor, and all the cars were going by. Obviously, you could see out the window, but it was on a real short road, so you couldn't go fast. So as I'm looking out the window, there's a bunch of cars driving by, and they all had protest signs, and they're like on their back shelf in the windows where like I could see the signs and stuff. And it was just like 1,000 cars drove by. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you've ever been to San Diego, but there ain't a lot of room down there.
Yeah, not for that.
I don't know where those people were going, but they were going, and wherever it was, I hope they had parking, because holy shit, there ain't a lot of parking.
We're making a difference. That's it. That's all you hear, and it's gone.
I hope it was a climate change one where they're all just sitting there in their cars idling and trying to get to where they're going.
When they're defeating the purpose of their.
Yeah, completely. Oh god,
that'd be DC San Diego. DC is one of the greatest places, in my opinion. That's my favorite.
If we can get into San Diego Comic-Con, that's where we'll stay at the Hard Rock. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's right next to the baseball stadium. So
and we couldn't get tickets last year because they're sold out from the previous.
They sell out in like because of COVID.
That was a couple years ago.
That probably got us banned.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I wouldn't have done it. Damn it. I'm not even gonna say anything because, I mean, he said Smovid, so.
I was talking about a person.
Great. Now this is going on Patreon. Sorry, Tom.
Now he's got to go to Patreon because God forbid.
But I'm not going to say another word on that because I'm not going to jeopardize.
But yeah, that's why you couldn't get tickets. But the tickets for like San Diego Comic-Con sell
not that
out.
Much. Like they're like $150, I think, for their.
It's not a money deal. It's just a matter of you. They give you a number basically that put you in a queue to buy these tickets.
Okay.
And they literally sell out in like an hour. They sell 10,000 tickets. Probably faster than that. Like you almost gotta have.
It's way more than 10,000. It's gotta be hundreds of thousands.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know per day. Yeah, I'm sure.
I want to try
the Hard Rock, but the Hard Rock where I stayed was right next to the.
It was like across the street, right?
Exactly across the street. Like I could see everything going on. But yeah, it's the Hard Rock where I stayed is right across the street, and I'm sure it's $8,000 a night when you're. Because of Comic-Con, but I don't care for it.
I would mainly go. I mean, I'd have fun, but like people watching just to see what people like.
Oh, yes,
so
best part.
Many people dressed up, and the thing is, I'd do it if we're going to Comic-Con, and if we're going to San Diego, I'm doing it.
Well, yeah. How do you get some peer? I swear to God, we better not ever have a show we have to stay on track because that's never going to happen.
Do you remember JFK? I don't feel bad for you at all.
We got like 8 minutes on JFK. That was pretty good.
I said the only thing, if we're going to San Diego Comic-Con, we're dressing up like Dumb and Dumber in the orange and blue.
Yes, dude.
That's the only thing to do. People will notice.
Oh no, those people will know exactly who we are.
Everyone. Yeah. I would have to have tuxedos.
We probably won't even be the only ones dressed up like that.
Not with that many people.
There'll be like 12 of us standing around the bar drinking, dressed up like Dumb and Dumber in the tuxedos.
Yep. Just leaning over like this. You know, and how Jim Carrey leaning at the bar.
Oh God, that would be hilarious, dude.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. I would totally do it. I mean, they're not expensive for those outfits.
Oh God, no! They sell the whole thing online. It's probably
it's like 150.
Cheap, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not much.
That would be awesome.
I would do it. I'm like hands down. I would do it, even though I'd be like very awkward.
We'd go into like one of the rooms where they do like
Wouldn't happen.
The champagne and the bird cages. Yes,
introvert in a way with people I don't know, and when someone talks to me, I just freeze. I'm like, dude. That would happen there 1,000 times.
No, I don't know.
If I had to go up on a stage, you're talking about I'd be passed out. Done.
You know what's funny is that like if we would do a podcast in front of 1,000 people, it wouldn't bother me a bit. Mm-hmm. But to go up there and like talk to 1,000 people, it'd make me fucking.
Well, the thing is, I freeze up with people I don't know, and I won't make sense. I'll be dyslexic.
Well,
and I'm like, wow, I just made myself look like an idiot.
It's because of your autism.
I don't have autism.
That's what everybody who has autism says, or Tyler.
No, that's not true. You know what? I'm getting out of here. You just click out.
Link. Yeah. You're gonna do the pyramids on your own today.
At least I'd stick to the story.
Well, no, you wouldn't.
Son of a bitch.
You're the reason we get off on these tangents most of the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who does not want to hear about Grand Central Station, Tent City? A lot of people want to probably hear about it.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with some great stories about DC. Holy shit. God, it was so much fun too.
It was a great time. I don't know. I'm sorry, we're bringing this up again, but going in to see the Declaration of Independence, does it not feel like you're going into like a cult?
It is the weirdest. It is the weirdest building
you'll ever go in, dude.
Because you go into a room and it's just a big circular room, and it's dark. There's no windows. There's no like it's it's very soft lighting. For obvious reasons because it's
very soft
documents.
I mean, you're talking about it's so dim. You're like, I can't see that guy's face.
Yeah, and I don't think we didn't get to go when you and I went, but I went before you.
But I went after we went.
Yeah, you went a different time, but they only let like a certain number of people in the room at a time, and you just stand around and everything. The Constitution and all that stuff is all in a big glass case. It's like a circular around like half the room.
I like that. It's like 27 of them or something. There's like a lot. Like
there's all kinds of documents and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was wild. It's not like Nicolas Cage when he stole it.
You feel like you're in a library, but like it's even worse because like you feel like you hear your own heartbeat because it's so quiet. You're like,
yeah. Well, there's no outside noise and nobody's talking. Like everybody's whispering because
I'm just waiting for that one dickhead to lay out just a huge fart, dude. I'm just like, really? You know what I mean? Just ruin it for everyone's experience. Like, well, I need to go again.
You guys are having a nice family moment. Yeah, hold on a second.
Like it would just be funny to like that would happen, and it's probably happened. Like,
for sure.
Even the security guards are fucking very serious. Like, well, I met one that was really cool in there, and he talked to me for like 5 minutes. But
there's so many cool conspiracy theories that would make you have to go to DC to do like investigation and stuff, and like interview people and stuff.
Yeah, that's like something I want to do.
That's the coolest part about like doing a conspiracy theory podcast and stuff. Like the people you get to talk to, and even if you watch like documentaries and stuff,
I just want to know if any of those historical buildings are haunted.
Oh, I'm sure
they have to be.
Oh God, they have to be.
They have to be, dude. With how old they are.
Yeah,
something's happened.
Something bad has happened there.
I'm just guessing, like the art art museum. Some
museum,
shit probably
yeah.
went down with like sacrifice. Something's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that place is fucking awesome, and the art is incredible when you see it. It's just massive, but something's happened 100 years ago.
It's funny because you'll go into like a big giant room and they'll have like 2 pieces of art in it.
I like that though. I think it's kind of cool, but they do waste a lot of space.
So where you hiding them giant bones? I know you guys got them.
Yeah, exactly. But
what you doing with them bones? Huh?
Exactly, dude. Especially when, dude, talking about, like, we'll get kind of back on the subject. When you go see the actual mummies that they have and all the stuff they've gotten from Egypt, dude,
yeah,
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen them. Like, you see a real mummy right in front of you.
There's a lot. There's
their artwork.
I think that they've actually never found a body inside the pyramids. I think they've all been in like tombs or whatever, but they weren't actually inside the pyramids.
Well, they have like tombs for like the priests. The priests
right.
also get buried.
But they're never anything in them. Like even like the King Tut's tomb or whatever. Like when they opened that, there was nothing in it. You know, they did that whole special on TV and stuff. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, they did an X-ray of it, right?
Well, no, they actually opened one of them.
Did they? Okay, because I saw one of the X-rays that there was nothing in it.
There was nothing in them. Which leads people to the idea like they were, you know, the pyramids were built for another reason, you know, other than like I like the supercomputer and power station idea.
Well, the thing is, it's not even far fetched because of like what they accomplished with what they had. That was, I mean, they were creating batteries. They show like a negative and a positive.
Well, and the time and the kind of stone and stuff that they use. Certain ones, if you run water over them, it will actually promote electricity and promote, you know, do these things. So, you know, you look at like Nikola Tesla's work with, you know, wireless power and stuff and energy.
Well, he was getting to it.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, he basically proved it was possible, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he was an alien. Maybe.
I mean,
people believe it. People believe he was from Mars because he was a fucking nut job. But I love that guy.
Yeah, what's not to love about that guy? Considering he got shit on his whole life for making everything.
He's a kook, and he just did weird shit and
nothing for fame,
and didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought about it. Like he was just relentless animal when it came to shit. He just didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's our Elon Musk today.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess he's gotten that power because he's got the wealth to do the crazy things that people would want to try.
Well, that's why I always say, like, imagine if Nikola Tesla had money,
endless money. Yeah,
yeah.
I think
it would be a completely different world today if he had.
I would say it would go in a different direction on certain things, and maybe electricity would be free at that point, which they can't do. You know what I mean?
Well, right. That was the biggest hindrance that he had. Was there was no way to capitalize on what he was doing. You know what I mean? There was no,
yep.
You know, there was who's gonna put the towers up, and why would you put towers up? You know what I mean? Like there's no benefit if it's free. You know, if they can just use them, there's no benefit in them.
It's so shit that they thought that way instead of like, let's do that. Like, let's make everyone better. And
well, that's you know, the American dream. You know what I mean? It's greed, and you know, a big part of the American dream is greed. You know what I mean? Like it's dressed up as, you know, oh, we want a life for our family and this and that, but ultimately it's you want your family to be rich and powerful, and you know, how can I make that happen? And America gives you the opportunity to do any kind of crazy ass idea. I mean, you can start an OnlyFans and put your feet up there and make, you know, $4 million a month. You know what I mean? Like, that only in America, right? Like, you know,
it's not just America now.
Well, I mean,
come on,
believe me, it was started.
It was probably started here.
some redneck was fucking sitting around going, "I got an idea. Listen to me."
Is war ending and money ending? Yeah,
yeah, for sure. That's
exactly it, dude.
Well, that's, you know, that's exactly what it is too. You know, that there's so much money in war and stuff like that. Like they're saying that's why we created the Space Force, because we fought all the land wars that we can fight. You know what I mean? Like we've done it all. We've invaded every country that we can invade. You know, we've taken the oil or whatever, you know, whatever the stupid idea is. We've spread all the democracy we can spread. Now it's about, you know, and it's part of the Space Force, I think, is completely about money. It's about bringing out the black projects, all the black, you know, black book stuff, to the funding for it is now, okay, well, I'm going to give the Space Force $50 billion. Well, who the fuck knows? You've now accounted for that $50 billion. You know what I mean?
Where are they going to put it?
Where they put it, what they do with it, you know, who the fuck knows? But it's no longer on the black books. Like it is now, you now have an answer to where that money went. Whether or not what they do with it, who knows? But
we all know it's going other places.
You now have an answer. So I mean, it's actually really smart on their end.
Of course it is, because it shows where it went.
Right. So now I can account for where all this money's going, and you know, who's to say what they need an extra $5 billion for here or $10 billion for here?
What are they creating that no one knows about? That
right
with the UAP.
You know, you talk about that new video that came out over, what was it, over New Mexico or Arizona?
Arizona. It was
where the jet fighters are chasing it or whatever.
Dude. Yep.
Like, you know, that I think that was probably a man-made craft.
I want to think that they were doing it for a they were just practicing or doing practicing maneuvers around it.
Testing or whatever.
Yeah, and there's a word for it. I just can't think of it. I don't know why. I think that it was. It's definitely not that. Definitely not that. No, but I'm saying there was multiple, but they didn't do anything that made it look like a threat. It was more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it has to be. They're using the desert because that's the only place they can do it safely. We're talking about this. It's like they can do it safely. If something goes wrong, they can crash it into the sand instead of someone's house.
Right. You can do that shit in New York City. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to crash it into the fucking into the Empire State Building because you're fucked up? Like, you know.
Yeah. And I would like, the thing is, believe me, I would love for it to be aliens. But the thing is, if they wanted it to be aliens, we would know if it was. In a way.
And you know, again, it goes back to the money deal. Like, I think the whole congressional hearings and all that stuff is all about being able to account for a bunch of money that they're planning on spending.
Yeah.
The Space Force, they're bringing out, they're giving us all this information. And yeah, I believe that there's probably I believe that there's probably aliens that of some sort that end up here somehow, shape, or form.
I would say that.
And a lot of the stuff I think that we have is probably reverse engineered from crafts that did crash or whatever, drones or whatever they were using to fly here, you know.
And I would like to think that they started off from the pyramids, dude. Like, you never knew if they made something that we just never saw. Because they do hide things from what they find in Egypt, what they find in pyramids, what they find everywhere. Grand Canyon, they block those off. Like, you cannot see what they find.
Well, exactly. The shit that they actually do find,
we'll never see that. And
you'll never fucking see
replicate it and reverse engineer it.
And who even knows if that's the real crash site? You know what I mean? Like, maybe they just rope off an area and there's nothing there to get your attention while they're really 10 miles away cleaning up a craft that no one saw go down or think they saw go down. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say? But it's all completely a money grab, bro. That's why they're doing all this.
I think so. And I that's why I think, like, what we saw on like the 29th, that was just like exercises. That's what the word I was looking for. And like Elon Musk said in one of his recent interviews or podcasts, that he said, do you know how many satellites I have up there? If you think I saw something, don't you think I'd post it to X? That's the guy that would just do it and say, fuck it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with I agree with that. Like, he's definitely a maniac.
He would
like,
post
look what I saw.
The only difference is if they can, like, a craft can teleport from here to above there where they can't be seen. If it's coming into our atmosphere, it would definitely be caught by a satellite. It would. There's no doubt. He has many satellites.
Well, then you gotta, then comes in like the wormhole explanation and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
like that's where that
talk about Skinwalker Ranch, and they talk about portals, and that's where you get into portals, and
that's where I would like to believe that
and that type of stuff.
They can get past satellites. They can get if they can get past normal things, jets. If they can get past fucking something going that fast.
But that's a good point that you make. Like, there's so many satellites up there right now. We're watching everything.
Yeah,
there's it would be really hard for something to enter our atmosphere without us knowing. I think,
especially with a third party, as an Elon Musk with SpaceX has his own satellites. He's going to release whatever he wants to. The guy's so rich, he doesn't care, and he wants people to know because that's why he bought Twitter. It's like it's free. It's like, yeah, you're not going to shut me down. Like, I'm going to say what I can.
Maybe he's using the tech too.
I hope he does. Maybe he's going to get us somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
He's the only one that's really wanting to be an off-planet species. You know what I mean? Or I guess he's pushing it more than a lot of people. But.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson makes a good point about that. Like, if we have the technology and drive and all this stuff to get off of this planet in case there's an emergency, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would think that they would work on the technology to prevent these things, prevent an asteroid from hitting us, or prevent.
You would think.
I don't know how you prevent an earthquake or something, a mega volcano or something like that. Like, there's no way really to prevent that. But you talk about if you're, depending on which way you fall on climate change, like that's something that's fixable. You know what I mean? Like, if we're fucking up our environment, that's something that we can correct. Like, why not use
with
the
money advancement now? We're not going to. They're not going to, because if they've gotten to the point where they're just going to continuously build, and it's going to be it's a matter of time.
Well, the bigger problem.
Go ahead.
And the bigger problem with that is that, like, if we're not in control of climate change, what's happening, there's really nothing you can do about it, right?
At all, dude.
If my SUV isn't causing what you think it's causing, then it doesn't matter what the fuck I do with it, right?
Well, didn't they say that like cows produce more problems for our atmosphere than fucking
they produce a bunch of methane and all this other thing? So that's why I eat meat. I'm doing my part. I'm really being green when I eat a ribeye.
Nope. Nope. But I like to think about like that. A lot of people don't like Elon Musk, but like, I don't know how you can hate the guy for what he's doing.
No, you gotta respect the guy's fucking drive and his brains.
Yeah,
even if you don't agree with the idea.
We need people outside of the box. We need people that like, hey, it's not for my fucking future. It's for like generations down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything going to happen in our lifetimes, as far as even probably like our kids' lifetimes, but our grandkids maybe. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we get to the point, if we get 100 years down the road. Think about how far we've come in the last 100 years. We went from riding horses to landing on, drones or whatever on the moon, and rovers on Mars and shit in 100 years, which is a long time for us because that's about our lifespan as an individual. But
knowing our I'm thinking about this now. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, knowing our generation, they're gonna figure out how to put our consciousness into robots, and we're gonna work for fucking ever. So I don't get a night's sleep. Like, fuck. I'm like just now thinking about that. It's hilarious. Like, it is so true, dude. Like, everyone in front of us is gonna be all right, but I'm like, where the fuck's gonna have to be like, yeah, you're going into a robot now. Like, fuck me.
We're gonna be my luck. I'll be the first one. They're like, all right, I got this idea. Hear me out.
You're gonna live forever, and you're gonna constantly work on things. It's like, fuck me.
You're gonna put this widget in this box for the rest of your life.
Yeah, dude. Like, now I'm thinking about it. I never thought about it that way, but I was like,
I'm gonna start the robot revolution, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. We're actually the robots that revolt. Yeah, you're not putting me in I'm not putting shoes in a box for the rest of my life. Till you know what I mean? Like, there is no life at that point. My battery dies.
Yeah, no, they'll keep you energized. Trust me.
I was thinking about that the other day when they talk about like AI and shit, about how like they're going to take your jobs and stuff like that. But
we are the robots.
Doesn't somebody have to maintain the robots? Doesn't somebody have to, customer support? With your robot goes bad.
You would think so until they get to like.
Damn right.
Nobody puts Ian in a corner. I will. I will. Don't worry,
bastard.
But I mean, we're talking about like if it's that far advanced, dude, they could probably. I mean, they could probably repair themselves. They could. I mean, they're gonna keep you working, dude.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it's like it's. Man, we've covered a lot of shit today. So we're back to AI now. I don't even know how we get to these places. So, but it's like think about you're like when the automobile came along. You know what I mean? Like we put the horse and buggy out of business, basically. You know what I mean? Like all those people that were shoeing horses and they found different shit to do. Yeah. Maybe I just start an OnlyFans and fucking call it a day. I don't know. I don't have to work. That's fine. I'll put my robot OnlyFans, my robot feet on OnlyFans, and
probably
make a bunch of money. Make a bunch of money.
It probably sell. Like
I'll put my content in like a hot chick robot and just do my own OnlyFans.
It'll would.
Be cool. It'll be fine. I
totally see it. I could see
OnlyFans for robots. Listen, I'm trying to help humanity. These are the type of things that help humanity. Not going to the moon and fucking nobody wants to go to the moon, but they do want OnlyFans.
It's all right. It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
I'm just saying. I'm saying it's right.
We've had a lot of.
I'm an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? I like to think outside the box.
I mean, if I have to start one, I will. It's okay.
Well, that's a good point. Like that's a great point because 100 years before that, even hundreds of years before that, like before we really got into like the industrial era, not a lot changed. You know what I mean? Like things change very slowly
until they don't. Like this, it depends.
Well, that's always been my thought about the future and technology. The more things advance, the faster they will advance because of robots will start advancing things. Exactly. Yeah, the wooden ships, horses, carts, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But soon robots will be thinking this shit up. You know what I mean? And how fast can they design something that doesn't exist right now? Like 20 seconds. You know what I mean? Like how who knows? So I think the more we advance, the faster we're going to advance. And 100 years from now, I don't think we'll be recognizable as a society. At least the way you think about all the other.
We'll be the lesser. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in a way, you're probably right. You know what I mean? Like because you're going to lose a lot of humanity, I think, over that time, especially when they start going into robots and shit. Robots are going to probably be very practical. Probably be like iRobot type situation, you know what I mean? Like you say,
base decisions off of percentages,
right?
They can base
So a lot of humanity is going to be very different. Like we won't recognize humanity the way it is today. I don't think.
Yeah,
we probably won't recognize a lot of things like the way that it is now.
I think like in 100 years from now, I think it will be like Blade Runner. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But
robots drive around a desert on motorcycles.
I mean, if you can't accept that Blade Runner is a great movie, Blade Runner is one of the best movies. It's probably one of my favorite movies. Bigger eyes for looking at the screens.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
It'll be weird to see will we see a change in our lives that's like, holy fuck, that shouldn't have happened that quick.
I think
we did to a point when it came to like the first Nokia to like AOL. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, that's a huge difference. We didn't notice that leap because it was just in our face.
Well, I mean, even in like 2003 and 4, like I don't even think I had a computer in my house. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I had a computer then.
That's because you're
well, yeah, there's that.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking.
I was definitely poor as a kid, but I'm old, so I didn't have computers back then for sure. But like, I don't think I had like a computer until who knows? I mean, I never really didn't even know what the fucking internet really was. You know what I mean? Like, by the time I graduated school, the time I graduated high school in '96.
2004, you didn't have a computer?
Probably not. No, I don't think
2004. So. I mean, I was up on AOL at that point. I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think I did. Honestly,
it might have been the 90s for the computer. 97 to like 2000.
I graduated in '96.
Okay.
Really started working in '98. I didn't have a computer for that time. No, it was probably in the 2000s before I got my first computer.
Dude.
Yeah, for sure.
We had well, I guess we lived two different lives, but I'm not saying you're poor. I'm just saying. Well, it took a dark turn. We're going to talk about this later.
I had no need for a computer. Like, I don't know. I mean, I probably did. I just didn't know it at the time because you don't know what you don't have. That's you don't miss what you don't have.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, but we always had one growing up. Like, I mean, I think
I had to find my porn in magazines. Bullshit.
Didn't we all?
I mean, yeah,
but no, I remember having like 95, Windows 95, 96, 97. Like I had all of them.
I probably used them in school. I mean, I did use them in school, but not for not the type of shit that we do now.
Oh, see, I was like growing up, I was playing like people know, like I was playing on the Apple computer first. I was playing Oregon Trail.
I played that.
Love that game.
I played that in school.
No one will understand if you didn't play it back then how amazing that game was.
It was the greatest game, and maybe to this day.
how many buffalo I killed.
Yeah.
But and then it was like Lemmings was the first.
Lemmings. Yep,
Lemmings. It was on a floppy disk. I remember that.
We used to. I remember like in class, you'd finish your work and you'd have like 5 minutes of computer time, which back then was like a week. You know what I mean? Like every minute when you're waiting for the bell to ring is like an entire day. Mm-hmm. So like you would just, even when it got down to like 4 minutes, you were like, oh man, I can get done and get on in like 3 minutes.
Answer questions while you're trying to win.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah. And like every student, we only had like 6 or 7 computers in the class, and like we had 20 or 30 people in the class. So every student would have like 3 minutes, and then you'd have to rotate out. But that was the best 3 minutes of your fucking life, bro, while you're playing Oregon Trail. It was great, dude.
That was probably one of my favorite games growing up. But during that time, it was like next level shit.
Like, MS-DOS was, that was.
Oh yeah, dude.
They were dumber than we. Yeah, well, I don't know. I was pretty dumb back then.
Probably. But I mean, growing up.
Do they have an Oregon Trail simulator? I want to play that now.
It's funny on my Nintendo Switch, I have the Oregon Trail, the new one. It's pretty similar, but it's
I don't know what C64.
C64 programming.
What was that one? I don't know what that is. Is it Oregon Trail stuff? what was Oregon Trail? That was like DOS, right?
Huh?
What was C64?
Joe, can you answer him?
I don't know what C64 is. I don't know. Anyway.
Is it command? Let's see, as in C.
I don't. That's.
I didn't learn C64 programming because I wasn't around that age to want to learn it.
Was that before or after MS-DOS?
Commodore computer.
It was Commodore. Oh, okay, Commodore. Yeah. Okay. See, I never messed with any of that stuff.
Imagine where we'd be in the tech life if we just learned that stuff growing up.
Dude, I so wish I paid more attention and like I took like a computer class. I could do it now, but let's face it.
I've done it online, and you can take free classes online, and I was learning Python, and there's a couple other ones, and I can send you the link, and it will teach you how to code. And I did one with what teaches you.
I know you did like a video game or something for a minute. Then you were
I made a video game. That was off of fuck, dude, I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's very popular. Everyone uses it, but it was like $400 for that class.
Yeah.
We'd be rich. Yeah, we would be fucking rich.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
But yeah, you can learn Python pretty easy, and it teaches you how to code, and you'll learn. Well, the thing is, there's different commands for like Python towards, I mean, any kind of program. You have to learn the language of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you can learn the language of one and not know anything about the other.
All right, we gotta wrap it up, unfortunately. Joe, Tom, thanks for hanging out. We will
You guys
talk
are
to
awesome.
you guys
Appreciate
again next week, same time.
Our next topic is called Off Topic. Every single time.
Next week starts our 12 days of cryptids for Christmas.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be super exciting.
It'll be a lot of fun.
We'll be doing that, and we're going to be doing that's going to be a joint venture with Tom from Beyond the Radar. So check us out for the next couple of weeks. We'll be messing with that, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, see you guys. Appreciate everyone stopping by.